The best and easiest attack strategy for the Mecha and Broom Witch that any Town Hall level can use to 3-star every time. Starting with the Mecha, as this troop focuses on defenses and does 20 times damage to walls. You can use this to your advantage by having them both as a tank and a wall breaker, similar to that of the Super Giant. However, for this army, we're using them to slash the base down by starting with the Archer Queen. She will have the giant arrow equipped so she can snipe off any buildings or at least do damage to them, but then following that up with a Queen Walk of her own with the healer puppets. This allows your queen to set one side of the funnel by herself, but can also activate invisibility spell towers if they're around the town hall. On the other side, you'll be using the siege barrack along with some super barbarians to control the siege barrack troops into a nearby compartment. You can open up the compartment with at least one mecha, so long as there are defenses in there or there are no open wall segments. While this is small, this is going to clear another side of the base, allowing you to set up pathing for your mechas with your king to follow the mechas into the base. From here, this allows you to spam your mechas right in between your two funnels. It is best though to drop a couple with your Barbarian King, Apprentice Warden, and Grand Warden to follow. This allows you to spam the rest of them into the base. Though, I do recommend using one mecha to break into the base initially, before then using 4 Earthquake spells to get deeper into the base along with a jump. You can still use 4 Earthquake spells to open up the base initially, but this is going to depend on how big the compartments are. As the mechas move in, you want to use a rage spell to push them deep into the base, along with using an early warden ability, as this is going to allow them to get defenses down, along with getting great healing after the Eternal Tome expires. This will keep all of your mechas moving deeper into the base and keep them healthy. You should also be using an overgrowth over the town hall and some other defenses to keep them for later on in the attack. If you are going up against an invisibility spell tower near the core, use an overgrowth over the spell tower too before they're able to fully recharge. This will basically keep the mechas moving around the base in time for you to use the Royal Champion, as she can be used midway with your army, so moving in with them, or even on the back end to clear value. If you have any leftover rage spells, it would be ideal to use it with her ability to do massive damage in quick succession. This is best saved when the overgrowth expires, leaving plenty of mechas along with your heroes to clear through the town hall and pretty much the rest of the base. Just make sure that you bring in some cleanup so you prevent any time fails. But if you want the army comp for this army, this is the rough one that I would be using for any town hall level. Now that you know what you're doing, let's give you an extra example that any town hall level can perform. Pretty much, you're going to set up one side of the funnel with a siege barrack and super barbarians. The other side, you're going to use your queen with her giant arrow. This is going to activate the town hall, and this allows you to then use the overgrowth over that spell tower and the town hall, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. It also creates the other side of the funnel. You've got the 4 Earthquake spells to open up the base initially, since the compartments were longer and definitely were able to be earthquaked into, and that's why we got the mechas, the king, the druids, and of course the Grand Warden to follow in. It is really important to use an early rage and of course the early Grand Warden ability to keep everything protected, and we can just cruise down through. Having the queen in the base is really helpful, and as we move deeper in, we've got the jump spell to connect a lot more of the base. We've got the Royal Champion to go in alongside our mechas, and while they are not going in for the town hall, we really don't need them to. We've got a rage spell that we can use with our Royal Champion's abilities, and this allows us to absolutely clear the town hall with no issue, and the mechas are able to get a lot of value. Even if the Royal Champion doesn't have the haste or hog, you will be able to still move through that town hall under rage, and if not, the mechas are going to be able to secure it. Other than that, you can kind of just let the mechas do their own thing, and they will clear a majority of the defenses, if not all of the rest of them, because they have a lot of HP and there's a ton of them. Just make sure that you have some cleanup, like I've said before, and this should get you to a very easy 3-star. Now, the Broom Witch is a different story, as she is not only defense targeting, but specifically targets wizard towers first. This is similar to that of the Lava Loon, but instead of spawning pups, she spawns mites like a Yeti. But for an army like this, we're actually using them surgically at the start by using one for each wizard tower near the outside of the base. If all 5 wizard towers are on the outside, use the Broom Witches for 3 of them and leave the other 2 for something like the Barbarian King to clear them, or the Archer Queen, as they have damage equipment that can easily deal with them or have good range to take care of them. If you can only remove 1 or 2 wizard towers, look to use your heroes to remove any other wizard towers or use an overgrowth spell if they're close together. Outside of this, if there are 0 to 1 wizard towers remaining, you're either going to have your Broom Witches deal with defenses initially or the final remaining wizard tower before dealing with defenses initially. It is going to be really important though that you are using your rage spells to provide support with your Broom Witches, as that way they can really overwhelm defenses, and you do want them to take damage. They're similar to a Yeti, so they get value from the spirits that they drop, and that allows them to do a lot of damage to defenses, so take advantage of that. So having the Warden with them allows you to delay his ability to get some amazing value. So using the Fireball is a really good choice since you can delay the ability and get great value with it. The blimp in this case though should be used to remove the town hall. So you do not want to use an overgrowth over the town hall, as it's better to secure the town hall earlier. Of course, you can use the blimp not within the Warden ability, especially if the town hall is offset. If the town hall is in the core, it's just going to be better to use the blimp with the Warden ability. As for your overgrowth spell, it should be used to make any leftover wizard towers untargetable for a brief period. So this means if you can get other defenses such as the Eagle Artillery, Infernos, or Scatter Shots in addition to that wizard tower, that would get you some great value. Of course, if there are no more wizard towers, you might want to use it on those defenses. This really just leaves the Royal Champion to clear the back end of the base. She's going to be able to clear those with ease and clear the enemy heroes as she gets close to them, and is also able to speed things up with her abilities and a rage to do massive damage to remove all the remaining defenses. Now, because the Broom Witches are defense targeting, you need to make sure that you have minions for cleanup. However, this is the army comp that I would recommend, as this is the easiest way to 3-star with the Broom Witches with no downsides. Now that you know exactly what you're doing, let's give you a pretty proper example. This one has 2 deep set wizard towers. So we're going to start with the Broom Witches to remove the wizard towers on the outside. Keep in mind that there could be defenses on the outside of the base that could hinder the mites from targeting wizard towers, so you do want to keep that in mind. Other than that, we're using the giant arrow with the queen to set up a bit of a funnel against any defenses, alongside using the king for the same effect, using his spiky ball. This allows us to use an overgrowth spell over on the wizard tower to also use that overgrowth on other defenses, and use the Broom Witches and the Warden. This is going to push all of them deeper into the base, and since the Warden is going to follow them, you can get great value from the Fireball and the Eternal Tome. This allows us to use a rage spell to do massive damage with the Broom Witches as they work around, and having a rage ready for the Battle Blimp to remove the Town Hall. Since the Overgrowth expired, we want to deal with then the next Wizard Tower, and then using another rage to provide a lot of support for them as they move around. Having the Royal Champion on the back end is going to very much help us with this, as she can move in with the Broom Witches to absolutely help shred through the rest of the defenses, and having her ability and a rage spell is pretty much going to help you clear through the rest, with the help of the Broom Witches, of course, for a super easy 3-star. It's a super consistent strategy that realistically is incredibly easy and uses mostly just Broom Witches and minions for cleanup, so that way you can have very easy 3-stars throughout the entire event. With that said, have fun with this event and the armies for easy and strong 3-stars this month. With that said, I do have a video right here YouTube says is the best for you.